What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing today? I hope your day is going wonderfully. Today we are in the beautiful town of Gori, Georgia, really close to Tbilisi, only 1 hour away. We're gonna check out the Stalin Museum. We're gonna be talking about Stalin's early life and rise to power, because he is literally the face of the Soviet Union. And remember, at the end of the video, you have to tell me your favorite Stalin fact. Are you ready? Let's do this. There used to be a Stalin Monument right behind me. That's why I came to the town to see it. But I'm guessing the town got sick of him, just seeing his ugly face in the middle of the Stalin Park, so they took it down. And right behind me is Joseph Stalin's house. The basement as well, where the father of Joseph, known as Basil, created shoes for the Russian army. He was very absent from home, and when he did come home to his family, he would usually subject his wife and children to constant beatings. You can still see the hammer and sickle emblems right upside. It was probably in this square that Joseph, at the age of 14, witnessed his first public execution of 2 Georgian rebels by the hands of the Russian army. Quite a brutal thing to see. I mean, this is like perfect dictator origin story kind of stuff. And that was probably what drove his anger and hatred towards the Russian occupiers into his support towards the Socialist Party. Joseph's monument was taken out of the main park. However, there is one statue remaining. There he is. This man behind me was responsible for the death of millions and millions of people. Really one of the greatest figures of the last century. And I say greatest in the worst possible way. We are now inside the Joseph Stalin Museum here in Gori. Quite a spectacle, really. Let's see how it is. Right away, we're greeted by sculptures and paintings of young Joseph. It's not far-fetched to say that in an alternate timeline, he became a supermodel and not a mass murderer. Joseph spent much of his life participating in revolts against the Russian army. He would raise money for the Bolshevik cause by organizing bank robberies and kidnappings. Joseph was arrested several times, but always managed to escape with forged documents. His loyal support for the socialist cause earned him the respect of Vladimir Lenin, and this would help Joseph rise up the ranks of the Bolshevik Party after the 1917 revolution. It is quite surreal to see some of these paintings. They portray Joseph as a loving father and as a caring son. We tend to forget that these larger-than-life figures were still human. Also, check out Joseph with Leon Trotsky and Mao Zedong. Behind me, we see one out of the 12 death masks created for Stalin. There's only 12 in the world, and one of them is here in Gori. Look at that. It almost feels like a kind of shrine. You go up the stairs, and then you come to see the man himself. It's kind of an eerie feeling, you know. We end the exhibition with all sorts of memorabilia. Stalin rugs, Stalin pots, Stalin books, Stalin shields, and also some objects gifted to him by fellow world leaders. Oh, and also, don't forget to buy your Stalin souvenirs on your way out. Quite an interesting museum. It's exactly what it says it is. It's a museum about Stalin, all about his life, his photos, his paintings, his teapots. It's quite interesting. I enjoyed it. It's not too big, but if you're around the area of Tbilisi, come pay it a visit. It doesn't really glorify the person. To my knowledge, Georgians don't actually like Stalin, since he was a ruthless dictator that continued the Soviet Union's occupation of Georgia. But he came from here, so they still acknowledge him, and it really is what drives the tourism here in this city. It's quite amazing. This behind me is the Joseph Stalin Wagon. the Stalin Mobile. Joseph did not like to take airplanes, so he would rather take this trusty wagon throughout the Soviet Union. You gotta take into account just traveling between cities could take days and days. Hello, Joseph. Hello? Oh, I guess the wagon is closed off to tourists. The main reason I came here is to see the toilet that Joseph Stalin used during his travels, but that won't be possible. This is super fascinating. Here we see a war memorial for the participation of the Soviets in World War II. Here we see 1941 to 1945 and a hammer and sickle. A lot of people don't know this, but the Soviets lost the most soldiers in World War II out of anyone. Just a ridiculous number of millions of Soviets died fighting Germany. However, this was Germany's biggest mistake, since they tried to invade the capital during the winter, and this is never a good idea. Just like Napoleon lost his empire due to invading Russia, also did Hitler. It's quite a fascinating story. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Check out more of my Georgia adventures right here, and don't forget to subscribe to get Stalinized.